So today in this video we are going to see about transmission impairment in data communication. So what is transmission impairment, right? So when the source is sending a data to the destination, right? So these data will be passed through the medium by means of analog signal, right? So these analog signal will be deteriorate the quality of analog signal when the distance of the medium is increasing. Okay, for example, when a person who is running for a 5 kilometer, the strength of the person at the starting end will not be same after 3 kilometers, right? So automatically the signal strength will decrease when the distance is increasing, right? So this happens in computer network called as data communication also. So when an analog signal is being transmitting through the medium, okay, in the beginning of the medium is not same as the signal at the end of the medium. So this imperfection is caused because of three reasons called as attenuation, distortion as well as noise. So what is attenuation? So the loss of energy is known as attenuation. So the example I told you, the person running for a 5 kilometer running competition, okay, the speed of the person is not same, right? So when the signal strength decreases with the increasing in the distance, which causes the loss of energy, which will be overcoming the resistance of the medium, right? So you can see the diagram here. So this is the original signal, right? You can see here, this is the original analog signal. So this is the attenuated signal and this is the amplified signal, right? So when the signal is being lost, you start losing, what happens? There will be an amplifier. So this amplifier will amplify, the amplifier is used to amplify the attenuated signal, which gives the original signal back and compensate for the loss of the signal, right? So at the end point they will be getting the original signal by means of the amplifier. For example, when a person is running for a 5 kilometer running race, okay, at the 3rd kilometer, or you can assume that there is a 10 kilometer, at the 5th kilometer a person is handing over a glucose bottle, something to drink, some water or something else, which will amplify the attenuated signal. So the loss of energy will be regained by means of the amplifier, right? So attenuation is the impairment cause and this can be achieved by means of an amplifier, right? So this attenuation is measured by means of decibel actually, right? So the next thing is known as distortion. So what is distortion? So when a signal is being sent from the source, so the shape of the signal will change, or I can say the form of the signal will change, right? So the composite signal is made up of different frequencies and each frequency component has its own propagation speed traveling through this medium, right? You can see the diagram here. So at the center end you can see a composite signal sent, right? Okay, so each and every composite signal will be divided like this in the medium, right? So this is coming to the receiver's end, but the signal with the distortion is not same as the signal which is sent from the sender, right? So every component arrive at the different time, which leads to distortion, right? So when each and every signal is coming at different times will make this distortion. This different phases of the receiver end from what they had at the sender's end, right? So this is the second impairment cause called as distortion, right? And the third and the last one is called as noise. You can see the diagram here, right? So the analog signal is being transmitted from point 1 called the source, and in the transmission medium a noise is being added to the transmission medium. So after the noise is been added with the transmitted signal, you can see the output. There is a small change in the shape of the signal received by the receiver, and this is known as noise, right? So now we can see the definition of noise here. So unwanted signal that mixes up with the original signal is called as what? Noise, right? So you will be induced by means of noise, crosstalk noise, thermal noise, impulse noise, which may corrupt the signal, which may corrupt the original signal, right? So the devices act for sending antenna and transmission medium act as the receiver antenna here, right? So there will be an antenna in order to receive as well as in order to transmit the signal. So the thermal noise is the movement of the electrons in the wire, which creates an extra signal, right? The crosstalk noise is when one wire affects the other wire, and the impulse noise is the signal with high energy that comes from the lightning or power line. So I think you can understand how the noises are created, and this will be impulse inside the transmission medium, and the receiver is not getting the output clearly, right? So these are the three different types of transmission impairment. So the first one is known as attenuation, loss of energy. Second one is known as distortion, right? So there is a change in the shape because of the time. And the third one is noise. Okay, so that's all for this video. See you in the next video. Thank you.